Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the next episode of Commonwealth of United Stars. If you are interested in supporting the channel, please remember to do so. Hit the like and subscribe button. And we are continuing where we left off after securing the system of Tau Ceti. We have done pretty well in that job. We're going to get some more mines moved over, but overall I'm feeling a lot better about our chances against the swarm with our mines and our laser defense turrets all around Acheron jump point, ready to shoot anything that comes through, as we do know there are quite a few aliens in there. We've also begun retooling our fleet to a new fleet in general, that being the DDX, now named Mako class destroyer, which will be replacing all of our destroyers as the single destroyer they'll be used. In fact, we're going to start production of those Mako class vessels, which we already have done. The first 4 are on the way, and they will be done on January 21-25, which is going to be quite a bit of way away. But once they're done, we're going to be scrapping the older Achilles class vessels, which are no longer needed. Now, currently, the problem that we're currently facing is going to be our uranium supply. Our uranium supply is quite limited, and we need to get as many minerals back as possible. Now, something to help with that is going to be things like sector governors, naval headquarters, and other things. So we need to get sector command, because if we get sector command, I believe that we already have one. We might already have a sector command. No, we don't. But a sector command would provide us with additional bonuses that we could get, and we need to research that. I believe it's in logistics, construction and production. During construction and production, sector command, or is it in sensors and control systems? Or maybe sensors and control systems. Ground combat defense systems. I mean, should be here, no? Command and control. It's for some reason missing. I don't have it researched right, do I? It shouldn't do. Sector command should be under here. That should be under control systems, which should give us sector command control. And there's nothing here either. So logistics, no. Oh, there it is. Improved command and control. There he is. So we need to assign some people to do with that. We're currently researching new engines, but again, the biggest problem right now is going to be handling the. Actually, add that to a queue. Add sector command to a queue. Is getting enough uranium out of the ground. And to get enough uranium out of the ground, we're going to need to, obviously we're building more mines, we need to ship those mines over to Nueva Belize, as well as San Martin. And I need to make sure that this is a destination of colonists, and these are still destinations of colonists, so that we can get as many people as possible. We need to get Nueva Belize up as much as we can, and get mining up as much as we can. We also have to re-establish some other things, like, for example, the King Roger, who's up in Griffin. You need to head to Upper Silesia because to replace yourself. And you can overhaul as needed. We also have a destroyer squadron here, 4 Starfalls that we can put into action as required. And our mine layers. But we should need... Where is it? Yeah, we've got freighters here, and they should be moving mines. You're unloading infrastructure on tomorrow. You are loading infrastructure from Griffin. You're moving to San Martin. Yeah, so we're going to be waiting on you. So let's begin incrementing along. And again, if you guys are enjoying the content, do remember to subscribe. So let's do one day at a time. There's the freighter squadron who's arrived. So what we're going to tell this freighter squadron to now do is you're going to take... Okay, how many mines is that? San Martin. You are a deficit of minus 2 million people. So we need... 2 million divided by 50,000, which is how many workers each mine takes. That's 40 mines that we're going to be moving across. So load, installation, unload onto Nueva Belize, and we're going to repeat that so we can move 4 mines at a time. So we're going to repeat that total for 10 times. Shouldn't take you too long at all. The Cante was repaired. That was one of our mine layers, which is going to be useful. And again, we're going to continue to increment along here as we begin to colonize outwards. We need to rename this population. We're going to rename this to Thebes. That was a suggestion by one of the commenters. If you do want to get your comment or a colony name or a commander name or any kind of name, just leave that in the comments below. Production rate's looking decent. Can we get anyone better on production? 30% production rate is kind of what I want to see. That will give us much higher. Actually, that might screw us over quite significantly. What about mining rate? 20% production, 10% mining, 20% that. That's enough. We can do that. We're also now actually racial wealth-wise doing fine, though I believe that's going to take some time for the efficiencies to get back up. HMS King Roger has arrived in Dortmund, so that'll be in Upper Silesia. So we had to take him off the line, if I remember correctly. So HMS King Roger, we're going to order you as part of Destroy Division 4. You are going to be sitting over... okay, you're nearly going to be taking that job over here, so that's good. So in 46 days, you'll take that job over. So you're going to sit above Dortmund, and in 46 days, you are going to head to this jump point. So we're going to do all delay in 3 years, right? 3 years, so 3, 9, 9, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in 3 years, you will move to there, and then you will head back towards Dortmund, and you will refuel, resupply, and begin your overhaul. And then you'll just repeat those orders. Oh no, I need to make sure that that is correctly, that you're in the correct area, right? So you need to be going to Makara after that point. Then once you're at Makara in another 1,000 days, so in another 1,000 days, you're going to do this. 9, 3, 1, 2, 6. LP1, introduce LP2. Am I mis-thingying this? This is LP1, this is LP2, so this will be to LP2. Thunderer is going through LP1 Upper Silesia, so we actually need to change this to do Makara, intersystem jump to LP1, 1,000 days. Then you're going to move to location. So you're going to move to Makara. Then you're going to head back through, and that's going to be another in 3 years. You're going to move back through, and then you're going to head to Dortmund, resupply, begin your overhaul. Okay, that should be work fine there. We just have to wait a couple of days before that'll sort itself out, and then we also have that light attack squadron, but it should be okay. 29th Marine Division was trained. Repairs have been carried out. Repairs have been carried out. That's the CV on freighters. Oh yes, we have those that freighter group being escorted. Group 7. Which was that freighter group being escorted? Freighter group 6. Oh yes, we have the Apollo here. I'm going to detach the Apollo. I'm going to have you head back to Alpha Centauri and refuel, resupply, begin overhaul. Again, our uranium stockpile situation. Okay, that's improved, but still, it's not looking like that's in a great place at the moment. Again, we're going to get those mines moved over here so we can start mining more uranium and then shipping that outwards. And then we're going to continue our colonization efforts. Like generally speaking, Tau Ceti is a... Like, I want to enter Acheron and kill the swarm, but, like, doing so is probably going to be pretty infeasible, to be honest. There's another Anubis bill. That's a Balladeer. We also have to keep in mind that we've got to replace these. These had to be replaced at some point. Salvages completed orders. I believe that was because they were moving back and unloading a bunch of stuff. In fact, we have a lot of that stuff right here. So we are going to go ahead and that's laser turrets. Did we put laser turrets on them? Did we? Did we put the laser turrets on the Mako? No, we didn't. What had laser turrets on it? Was it the fence monitors? Oh, there, no. Oh, it was that. Oh, yeah, because we were building it like that. Magnetic mirror fission reactor. We can just disassemble all of those. We can disassemble all of those. Then commercial nuclear gas core engine. We've got commercial ion drive. Bunch of active search sensors. No cloaking though. Railguns, we can disassemble that gun. Military jump drive in here. We have 300 box launchers. We have some science departments. We have all sorts of stuff in here. Now, if I go over, because we're thinking about doing our survey ship, right? But we're kind of waiting on the ion drives to finish up research. So we'll have to wait. Give me research into that is the frigate ion drive, so FFX. Let's go for a name then for this ship now it is done. Let's go for rivers. We can call it after a river. We're going to call it the Blackwater class. And we're going to put that into service by retooling this Ares class yard to the Blackwater class, and that will take until March of 21-23, which will be next year, relatively quickly. Artemis has arrived back at home. Again, fuel supplies are now going up. However, the current stockpile situation in terms of uranium is still very, very, very scary. We are increasing the amount we're mining here. What's our mining bonus? Can we get anyone better? 25% mining, that's decent. 1,800 tons are being mined a year. And we're going to need to just keep moving that as much as uranium as we can get possible. I usually don't run out of uranium. Usually it's not the thing that you run out of. It's usually gallicite. Yeah, 1,800 tons. They have 118 mines. We're going to be able to use up all those workers. And I need to maybe start thinking about terraforming, because some of these worlds are very, very good for terraforming. 61 Cygni. Oh, do we not have enough tankers in the group that is going to be transporting that fuel over? I might not have enough. I have 2. What we will do then is we will have them, first off, go to your harvesters, and then you're just going to refuel and stationary tankers, and then transfer the fuel to the colony, and then just cycle those move orders, right? Until they've done that enough. And then once they've done that enough... wait, what? Fuel storage. Oh, Cygni. Oh, yeah. Oh, did I just screw this up? I just screwed this up. We didn't even need to do this like this. Okay, that's fine. Harvester group, every... Refuel from stationary tankers every 180 days. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Every 180 days, refuel from them, and then transfer that fuel to colony, and then cycle move orders. But no, Harvester Group 3 is orbiting Lane, and this was the tanker that needs to move back to 61, so you need to pick up that fuel and then ship it elsewhere. So once you're back, we will sort that out. We can continue to harvest as much fuel as possible. Speaking of that, we did manage, I believe, we were building up naval headquarters. So if I go to my naval organization tab, we should have, if I look in my command, so our NHQ level is there, and then we have NHQ. So we should be able to, if we look into our harvester group here, harvester group, we should be able to have that bonus being applied from our admin command. I would think anyway. I'm pretty sure it is mining as well, right? So we are currently mining how much fuel from here? We're getting 6.4 million liters. Each harvester can do 1.6, so 3.2. So we're not actually getting any benefit from that. They have no fleet commander here either. What about production? What if we put someone who's good at production in there? Let me have a look. I mean, is this guy even in range, probably? Okay, harvester group, 6.4 million liters still. I'm in command level, like, should be in range. Let me check the galactic map. Like, 61 Cygni, you should be in range with a 3rd naval headquarters, because Griffin has now 3 naval headquarters. Which should mean that distance-wise, that should be providing a good enough benefit, right? But we're still only mining about 6.4 million liters of fuel per year, which is not great. Range 1, NHQ level, range 0. That is annoying. Okay, whatever. Well, we're going to get better fuel production rates anyway coming up here soon, so it's not going to be an issue. You just have to keep going along here. We haven't seen raiders in a long time, I will say that. Okay, that is the 100 kiloton squadron done with Nova Bleed, so they moved over all those mines. A whole 130 mines now on the planet, so we're now making 2,000 tons of uranium. Obviously, that could be improved quite significantly. In fact, sector commander would help. Some of the stuff would help. But we need to look at colonization efforts. Not colonization efforts, terraforming efforts, because I think we can probably do that. Like, for example, here, we could probably terraform this. And terraforming is not that expensive in terms of the actual usages. But we need a terraforming module before I feel comfortable in doing that, because otherwise we need population. Our population is already mining. And so there's not much point in that effort, right? So let's just keep going along here. Let's wait a little bit of time. We're just waiting for things to tick forward, really. Mate, I just want to make sure that our system fleets are actually moving those resources, though, because we do have, yeah, you, right? Oh, you're not. That's a problem. Yeah, that is a real problem. Okay. That would explain why we actually have so much finished shoots. Okay, so go to 616. Go to San Martin, load on minerals until full, take them back to Alpha Centauri, unload on minerals, and then refuel, and then cycle those move orders until we have all that minerals back. How many minerals do we have on San Martin that is just sitting there? Yeah, we have like 5,000 tons of resources that we need to be moving back. I didn't realize that was happening. That actually explains a lot why our uranium is going down as quickly as it is. Well, it's also because we're actually using a lot of uranium as well, just in general. Wealth situation is actually not looking great here. Can I improve? So I know we moved over financial centers to Manticore, to you, right? So you are actually making some wealth. So if I can get a governor that can do wealth creation, there we go. Governor wealth creation. That's what we want on these moons, because that will bump up the amount of wealth we're actually generating per year quite significantly. And there we go. Our wealth is now increasing, which is what we want to see. Okay, Bellerophon can beat all this, so that would have been unloading the rest of the stuff that we found. ECCM, ECM, ultraviolet lasers, magnetic mirror fusion reactor, main engineering, quad Gauss cannon turrets. That's from us, though. A lot of this stuff is just from us. This isn't. We can actually disassemble all these. That's 4,400, and yeah, we're getting a bunch of we're getting some points into B5 control ratings right there. That was definitely not us, for sure. Fuel transport squadrons arrived. Bellerophon only has 19% of its fuel left. You're orbiting Griffin, so you're fine. This is Fuel Transport Squadron 3, so you were originally harvesting fuel, but if you guys remember, we moved them to help refuel our main fleet. But we're building a replenishment ship now, which will replace that role. So, you want to be taking fuel from Harvesting Group 3, so we form stationary tankers, and you're going to do that, at least for now, we're going to just transfer that fuel to San Martin. Do we want to start moving fuel from San Martin elsewhere, right? Because, well, it needs some kind of fuel, so we're going to have to keep doing that. So just cycle those move orders until you're done. Until you can't deal with that anymore. And then that should be fine. Okay, commercial iron drive just completed, so that is going to allow us to do two things. Make our larger freighter and also look at building ourselves. A much better survey ship. So we're going to take away the gas core engines. We are going to then input the new ion drive engines. So we're going to put, let's do 5 engines. So that gives us an initial speed of about 300 kilometers per second. But we're going to be going for now a much larger sized, we're going to call these, I guess, super freighters. So we're going to put SF as the designation. So SF. And we'll go, oh, actually, let's select a new name. The Colne class super freighter SF. And we're going to give it a new hull of super freighter. And the purpose of the super freighter is going to be obviously to move stuff around. Now, it has a range of 123 billion kilometers with a speed of 604 kilometers per second. Now, that's a lot less range than we do have on our other freighters, which can move pretty damn far and also pretty damn fast. However, these don't really need to move very, very far if they've got very, very efficient engines, which we do have very efficient engines. In fact, if we take off an engine here, we can't really get that engine, the efficiency up too much. So, like, 6 engines is probably going to be the one we want here. There's about half. No, we want probably about half the speed. Yeah, half the speed of the Amphora A, right? But it's going to have 3 times the cargo capacity, and it's relative. It's only 200 BP more, 3 times the cargo capacity for only 50% more cost. So that's pretty good. Unloading times is going to take quite a bit, but that's really not going to be the negative because these things are going to be moving in stuff from big colonies to other big colonies. Their job is to ship minerals. Is to ship all sorts of stuff. That's the job, and be very fuel efficient at doing it. And that's what we want to do, because these are doing more regular trips, and we want these to be doing long haul. So what we're going to do then is we're going to add in some more fuel storage. I'm going to give this, I would say, do we really want to give it more fuel? It shouldn't need more fuel because it's going from destinations which will have refueling stations. So we're going to give it 1 million liters of fuel. It gives 120 billion kilometers with a tonnage of 92,000 tons. We could in fact give it some more cargo shuttle bays. We could give it, but that does increase the cost quite significantly. We're going to go for 1 cargo shuttle bay. And we're going to just call this the Colin Super Freighter, and then we're going to put that into design. So retool to the Colin. And then with our normal freighters, right? With the normal freighters, we can just replace these. So these have the gas core engines, right? These are the new engines. We're going to make a new mineral freighter. So take this mineral freighter, take off the engine, put on the commercial ion drive, right? And that gives it the same, it's the same total range, but we achieve a faster speed. And that's what we want, right? Faster speed, better. So we're going to call this the A variant. Or actually, we'll call this block 2. Lower size block 2. And then we're going to, should be able to go over to our Stellaris class vessels over here. And we're going to retool to the block 2. And that's going to be used for transporting stuff in system as needed. Then our larger freighters will be transporting stuff across the stars. Like installations, like other stuff, like big transports, big amounts of transports. Capacity that we can actually move around. Then with our survey vessel, we're going to go over here. We're going to add in a commercial air drive. Now, we don't need as much fuel because of that. We actually get rid of a lot of this fuel. Because we don't need as much as is designated here. We have a military jump drive because that can be used on commercial engines as well as other engines. We're going to add in a second commercial air drive. This will be the 1500 kilometers per second. But our engine is too small, so we can actually reduce our fuel usage significantly, right? So we can get down to maybe 200,000 liters of fuel compared to 1.5 million liters of fuel on here. And our speed is not that much worse for the general effect. So this will significantly improve our both our range and also our fuel efficiency, right? Because if we had 6 survey ships and every survey ship was using 1.3 million liters more fuel a year, right? So every 2 years, every 2 years, they were coming back and they were refueling. They were soaking 10 million liters of fuel potentially, or 7-8 million liters of fuel. That's a lot of fuel that just survey ships are taking up. So we're trying to get that fuel efficiency where we can. So what we're going to do, I think we can't go for that engine. So we're going to go for this. We've also seen we'll reduce the cost as well. 200,000 liters can have 235 billion kilometers in terms of range. And then with the rest of the sensors, we're going to increase the deployment time to 120 months. We're going to add in maintenance storage. We're going to add in... Oh, actually, maybe we should add some NG bays for this one. Engineering, NG spaces. Get the IFR down. So 10 years deployment time. 2 million kilometers in terms of that. Let's actually give it an extra fuel storage. So 234 billion kilometers. And then we're going to add in geological and gravitational survey sensors, because that will improve the speed at which they do things. And we've also got a science department on board as well. With 12,000 tons before I get as well, and that speed of 900 kilometers per second. That's a little bit slow for my line. I think 1,000 kilometers per second is fine. Now, you may be asking, now the one negative by going this route is going to be raiders will be able to destroy our ships really easily. And so will a bunch of other stuff. I'm considering potentially we put on a hangar space so that we can, like, keep that for the, to track things, but I don't think it's really going to work at this size. And so, we're going to go with the geological and gravitational survey sensors. Double them up. In fact, we can triple them up. That does increase the cost quite significantly. How costly are Geo and Grav? Wow, they're expensive. But if we're only going to have like a couple of these ships because we don't need as much, right? Then we're in a much better position. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's get rid of that geological survey sensor. And then let's get rid of some of the fuel. I'd like to see a doubling in fuel range, to be honest. A doubling. We can get rid of this gravitational survey sensor. So we have 3 of them. So we keep the same cost. But we have 50% more survey capability. Double the range. Double the deployment time. Double the maintenance life. And we actually are 1,000 tons smaller than we were. In fact, we can have like 300 billion kilometer range, right? Very far range. So 11,000 tons. A little bit more expensive, but this works. And so what we're going to rename this class. Let's do RMN class vessels, class theme RMN. We're going to call this the what would be a good name? Hadrian class, Gudrid, Hector, Hephaestus. I want something a little bit more real. How about US Navy? Famous explorers? Maybe famous explorers. Presidents, obviously not. Norwegian fast attack across Portuguese provinces. But this way, fish, poisonous animals, Nobel physicists. No, I don't like naming ships after people. Because it's a bit weird when you do so. I mean, explorers might work, but it's not really working for me. I guess we're gonna have to go with our men stuff then. Let's go for the Psyche. No, Phoenix class vessel, because it's a reborn. It's not the same. It's not the same kind of ship. So Phoenix class survey ship, and we're gonna redesignate as well to survey frigate, because that's more descriptive of kind of what it is. So that's going to be its job. It's got 350 billion kilometers of fuel, 11,000 tons, 120 deployment time, and it's going to be pretty damn effective at its job. So we are going to then retool the a yard for that. Now, what yards do we have available really to do stuff with? We've got this Highlander yard, which is here. We could build a much bigger ship, like a 20,000 ton vessel, but that's kind of what I want to keep that for some other projects. We have this Lysander class vessel here that we can change to, because we're not going to build Lysanders anymore. So we're going to go for Phoenix class, retool, that'll be July of 2124. And we can continue with our research into new ion drives as well. But overall, I'm pretty happy with those 3 designs that we just came up with. I think they'll be pretty damn useful. It's just going to make sure that we have enough duranium for our needs. Which we currently do not. Again, I'm going to be watching that freighter, as much as possible. That's moving resources from you. You're moving resources from Dortmund. You've got nearly 3,000 tons of uranium in there. And then you got about 2,000 tons of uranium in you. And you are loading all your minerals until full as well. And then we're shipping those minerals, of course, over from the River Belize to San Martin. We're making 2,000 tons of uranium. We need to increase this as much as possible, ideally. I'm actually going to stop this from getting colonists. I'm going to just focus on getting as many colonists into River Belize as possible. And in fact, we're actually running out of infrastructure. But infrastructure, unfortunately, is going to cost us uranium, in which we do not have the supply of to spend. Which is, again, why we look at terraforming. Because if we can terraform, we can free up thousands and thousands of infrastructure, which we can then use to further colonize out and out and out. I feel like, to be honest, we're kind of at our limits for how far we can colonize, right? So we have systems. If we look at population systems, right? So we have systems up Silesia and up to Zeta Extenders and up to EG Pegasi, right? And then we also have, I'm not sure what the hell's going on here, Alpha Centauri, then Cancri, of Epsilon Eridani, right? So we have, systems up to Zeta Extenders, up to Silesia. I feel like we're kind of at the extent of where our empire can kind of be with our current mining rates. And so we're going to kind of have, in my opinion, sit around, focus on infrastructure, focus on building up our mining capability, before really doing anything else, because I don't feel like we can continue shipbuilding. We went for very, very high numbers of ships. Damage report. HMS Princess Catherine. Beta until the AD defense station. Oh, I know why you were like that. Oh, because we left you alone. Oh, that's my bad. I'm going to SM that because I did. That was a mistake. I did not actually see. Because I remember we moved the Beta Antillia defense station, right? So we're gonna send you guys back to Centauri to refuel, resupply, and begin your overhaul. Should be able to reach that just barely. And then we'll bring you back out because we have the Beta Antillia defense station, which has been set up in, which has now been renamed to the where is it? It's the Tauseti defense station, right? It doesn't need to get resupplied and refueled. But that's to be able to support 16,000 tons of capacity. And we need to get some ships moved out over there. I mean, we can even send a light cruiser over, but it's kind of weak to just send a single light cruiser. It doesn't really have the missile capability that we're looking for. But yeah, let's continue incrementing on. That was definitely my mistake, but they're going to be able to hopefully get home. This is the problem. There's a lot of experimental stuff going on. Okay, Tau Ceti. Enemy ship has just jumped. Okay, this is it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. 5,335 tons. Defense grid A1. Begin opening fire. They just squadron jumped. Fire. Assign fleet. Assign system, actually. Assign system. Open fire. Assign system. Enemy ship destroyed. Wow, that was a very successful interception. I'm not sure what kind of vessel it was. It was designated as class 58. What do we know about it? Well, what do we know about that class? Class 58, 5,000 tons, maximum arm penetration. It must have been a survey ship or something, a scout. Well, they know about the ships now. We gotta be careful though. They may be probing us. Ceasefire all ships. They definitely squadron jumped through though, so they're on the other side of the jump point. I'm not sure why our mines didn't activate. That's a bit concerning. Are they too close? They might be too close. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. You would think that would work, right? I mean, I haven't used mines often. Separation range. 150,000 kilometers. The range in which it will separate from the target. First stage range 0 kilometers. Second stage range. Second stage separation. It will separate 150,000 kilometers away from the target. I mean, wouldn't that be within? Because there's no way you can probably. I mean, you can't be that accurate. Maybe it died too quickly. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that we're not gonna be in trouble here. But looks like overall our defense grid did an excellent job. Blackwater class retooled for supplies on the points consort, both Covington. So if we have a look now, we can build a Blackwater class frigates, which is good, and they'll be able to begin replacing what our job now the Blackwater class frigates are going to have significantly higher endurance, and their job is going to be patrol duty and defending in system against Raider class vessels. So we're going to begin to replace these. Look how many Ares class vessels we actually have in service. So many that we don't have enough names for some of them. But a ton of Ares class vessels are currently in service. We also have a ton of Starfall class vessels, Achilles class vessels. So we need to, in my opinion, start scrapping some of these Ares class vessels and replacing them with the Blackwater classes. So we're going to start scrapping older Ares class vessels. HMS Ambush, scrapping. HMS Ares was scrapping. HMS Arethusa was scrapping, and HMS Cassandra going to be scrapped. And then we're going to replace those with 4 Blackwater classes, but we don't currently have the stockpile of uranium to do so. What are we currently spending on? Where's our uranium being spent on? We're spending 20,000 tons on the Corundium here, but uranium there. We've got a ton of corundum. I'm almost got so much corundum, I might use automated mines because we don't have the population. Population is currently a limiting factor. 4,000 of that is coming from there, and then shipyard tasks. So what are we building that's requiring uranium? I guess it's the fuel harvesting stations. So we're going to bring that down to 0.8558. I should just cancel our production. And I'm going to start production on automated mines. Let's build 200 more automated mines. And I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to put the additional production into that. So that'll be 65% production. Let's make automated mines as we possibly can because we don't have the population to support things. But that has checked our usage down. And how many of those fuel harvesters did we actually manage to finish up here? Let me have a look. 3 more fuel harvesters, so we can begin to move those over. We're going to take that over to the current space stations that are. So we're going to track to the shipment fleet. So that over to our harvester group. We check ships. Refuel from the colony and cycle those orders. Fantastic. Oh, actually, the 2 times. I would like to know, however, if the harvester group actually is working. So fuel harvesters, right? You're harvesting 20.4 million liters of fuel. Now you have how many noobs? 12 of them. 12 times 1.6 is 19.2. So you are getting a benefit from your mining bonus, right? So if you have a fleet commander. If we go over there and we assign, so it's assigned a mining bonus. So I'm going to assume it's a mining bonus over there. If we assign a 30% mining bonus to this guy, how much are you harvesting then? 24.4 million liters. I think there's something broken with the admin commands because they should be affecting correctly. I'm not sure why they aren't affecting. Either way, that's something like 4 million liters of fuel being mined per year. And then our fuel stockpile is actually going up. I think we're going to be able to get out of this crisis. That's that for Attila who's arrived back home. But I think I'm going to leave the episode off here. Because we have dealt with an enemy scout. We've gotten these new ships on the way in construction. And I like to keep these videos concise and quick. And I also don't have that much time these days. But if you do want to support the channel, please don't like, comment, subscribe, whether this help me out. And maybe that we're going to get attacked further by the swarm. It's interesting that mines didn't work. If you guys got some ideas about that, please leave them in the comments below. Because, I don't use space mines too often. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Please don't like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.